Esther 5. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only, and he's an extremely jealous El. He's so jealous that he doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips, and Yah is short for Yahweh, Yahweh, Yod-He, Vav-He. There's no difference. It's like saying Dan, Daniel, Daniel with an E. What is the difference and does matter is when people say that Phil, Bob, Sam, and Adam are the same name, because they're not, and no one in their right mind would ever believe that. And only a fool would believe that the hammer can force its creator to do anything. We are the hammer. There is no letter J in the Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic texts because the letter J is only about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity over 2,000 years ago. And a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua is Joshua. And I strongly believe that the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, means Yahweh is salvation. Esther 5. And it came to be on the third day that Esther put on royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the sovereign's palace in front of the sovereign's house, while the sovereign sat on his royal throne in the royal house opposite the entrance of the house. And it came to be, when the sovereign saw Sovereigness Esther standing in the court, that she found favor in his eyes. And the sovereign held out to Esther the golden scepter which was in his hand. And Esther went near and touched the top of the scepter. And the sovereign said to her, "What is it, Sovereigness Esther, and what is your request?" "Up to half my reign, and it is given to you." Well, that's good news, because I want you to stop killing my people. It's not far from up the reign at all. And Esther answered, "If it pleases the sovereign, let the sovereign and Haman come today to the feast which I have prepared for him." And the sovereign said, "Get Haman at once to do as Esther has said." Then the sovereign and Haman went to the feast which Esther had prepared. And the sovereign said to Esther at the feast of wine, "What is your petition? And it is given you. And what is your request? Up to half my reign, and it is done." I just want you to stop killing my people. Again, that's nowhere up the plague pole at all. To me, that's at the bottom of the list. I wouldn't even consider that. Well, he's a cruel person. Could I even say that I'm not? That would be self-righteous, wouldn't it be? Because we're all evil in the eyes of YahWeh. Well, I recant what I was going to say, but I'm not going to say it anymore. Thank you, YahWeh, for wisdom. Where am I? And Esther answered, "If it pleases the sovereign, let the sovereign and Haman come today to the feast which I have prepared for him." What is your petition? And it is given you. And what is your request? Up to half my reign, and it is done. And Esther answered and said, "My petition and request is this: if I have found favor in the eyes of the sovereign, and if it pleases the sovereign to give my petition and perform my request, then let the sovereign and Haman come to the feast which I make for them, and tomorrow I shall do according to the word of the sovereign." And Haman went out that day rejoicing and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the sovereign's gate, that he did not stand or tremble before him, he was filled with wrath against Mordecai. But Haman held himself in and came to his house, and he sent and called for his loved ones and Zeresh his wife, Zeresh. Haman is someone who thinks of himself as a mighty one or an idol. And if you don't treat me like I am your creator, then I will kill you. Okay, Hitler. Although Hitler was lobbied by American forces to do things, so And when I say American forces, it wasn't just their military, it was their government, their corporations. They made it all happen. All of it. Everything you heard about in World War II, anything that you saw that was German, was paid for by the U.S. U.S. tax dollar, by the way. And those companies used their White House powers to get what they made and what they paid. Plus, they got a $1 million damages bonus from the government, which is again paid out of U.S. tax dollar. This guy is like a literal joke. Haman. If I was ever in power, people like Haman wouldn't exist. They would be shot on sight. And Haman recounted to them the esteem of his wealth and his many sons, and all in which the sovereign had promoted him, and how he had exalted him above the officials and servants of the sovereign. And Haman said, Besides Esther the sovereigness, let no one but me come in with the sovereign to the feast which she prepared, and tomorrow too I am invited by her along with the sovereign, but all this does not suit me as long as I see Mordecai the Yehudi sitting at the sovereign's gate. Again, I would just order one of my men to kill him right then and there. Like, you know what, you scumbag, die. So his wife Zeresh and all his loved ones said to him, Let a wooden structure be made 50 cubits high, and in the morning speak to the sovereign that Mordecai be hanged on it, and go with the sovereign to the feast rejoicing. And the word pleased Haman, and he had the wooden structure made. Even his hoes are disgusting. Then again, they made some crap law about how you can't wear sackcloth next to the gate. Oh man, how dare you do such a thing? Wear whatever you want. As long as it's not some Hail Hitler, we should kill everyone sort of garbage. Anyways.